Welcome home, Rep Pack. Marcus here, and welcome to Comfort Cartoons. Today, we are going to be doing an awesome flea market video. I'm actually recording this later in the day. It's going to start a little bit dark because we got there at 4 a.m. You got to get there early to get all the goods, and of course, we're going to be looking for all the stuff that we love on this channel in regards to animation. We're going to be looking for Disney, Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, and of course, our Ocean Man. Grab him by the hand to see what we can find. And of course, some stuff I'll be adding to my personal collection, and a bunch of other stuff I'll be bringing to our shop or to our Whatnot stream that I do live every Wednesday and Friday. And hopefully getting a little bit more value than what we pay for overall, so we can have some extra funds to add back into the collection and bringing more videos to you guys. So without any further ado, let's get into it. This will carry on over to earlier in the day, Marcus. Okay guys, so we are just getting here right now. It is dark. You guys can see it looks like it's nighttime still, and it's also ridiculously cold. I didn't even bring a jacket or anything, but this is the best time to come. A lot of people don't want to get out of bed when it's this early, let alone when it's this cold. So it gives you the best chances to find some of the stuff that you're looking for. So hopefully all that works in our favor. Let's go ahead and take a look, and I'll update you guys when we get to the first booth. What's up, dude?
Oh, what's up, bro? Of course. I was hoping you're gonna be late today.
Yeah, I mean, I woke up. This is actually kind of when I normally come late. Is like last week, and I came at like 7:30. Dang, that one is sick. It looks licensed, huh? I'll go check it out right now. Thank you, appreciate it. So this is interesting. So a couple of members of the audience were like reached out to me. They go to the Thrift too, and they were like, yeah, they have this giant Spongebob costume. I don't think this is licensed though. It is really sick though, but it looks so good that like I almost want to say it is. Like these cheeks feel super licensed, but I just don't think it is the jumbo Spongebob costume. I almost want to just get it just for the fact that like, you know, it is a Spongebob costume and it's kind of sick, but I'm just looking for some kind of trademark or anything. What do you guys think? Do you guys think this is licensed and I'm missing the mark by not picking it up? The only things for me that seems not licensed is these eye cutouts. Like that feels very like homemade, like, you know, like someone's grandma kind of did it, but man, did someone's grandma did a killer job. This thing looks sick. Okay, so we are getting started on looking right now. I mean, you can see it's brightened up quite a bit. I got here early, but sometimes you get here early and it doesn't really, like, there's nothing. It's just, you know, nobody who is setting up brought much. So now that more people are getting set up though, hopefully we have some better luck. Okay, so just getting started here, I see a really cool DW plush. This is actually a talking DW here. We need Arthur with like the little fist meme. This is also his gumdrop buttons. It's the Shrek little gingerbread plushie here. We got Mario, a bunch of cute plushies here. I'm gonna maybe grab, I might ask about the DW depending on the price. We got some Pokemon stuff. Looks like it's open though. Oh, some guidebooks too. The Pokemon Black and White Collector's Edition guidebook. This one, I had this one growing up. We'll see how much the price is on that. There's the Black and White Pokedex edition, as well as the Diamond and Pearl Pokedex one. Those are really cool. But what originally caught my attention was this over here, all of these Naruto cards. Unfortunately, I think I have most of the cards from this set. You know, this is definitely probably like a kid collector. Like they just put like every single card in the binder, like regardless if they were like, you know, rare in particular or not. But it's still cool to see. You don't see like, I mean, I see a lot of Pokemon cards, I see a lot of Star Wars cards, but I don't see Naruto cards at the flea market very often. So it is cool just to see them here. Like look at this, you know, that freaking kid from the Naruto Bridge episodes. You can see it's very early Naruto cards too. This is from the Bandai line. Always makes my heart happy to see some Naruto cards. Oh, there's actually some Disney cards here too. And these like Looney Tunes baseball cards. These actually like that you can buy them as like a whole set. So these are pretty common too. But you know, I'm used to seeing baseball cards, not Naruto though. How much, man?
$10 for you.
$10? Gotcha. Yeah, I think a $10 might be a little much for me, but it is still sweet. I think I'm gonna pass on DW2. Maybe if they have the talking Arthur to go with it, but it is another item that I like seeing here, the little Band-Aid too, but he's my favorite to find. Okay, so this seems a little bit more our style. Look at these Looney Tunes. Daffy is so cute. We're gonna grab, let's see how much they are, but I love these. Oh, and this little Marie wall clock. Is her tail the actual bottom piece? I think it is. Okay, yeah, that's another grab for sure. But the homie over here just told me about the Rugrats. Oh, dude, that is sweet. There's all the Rugrats here. Oh, bro, dude, we were about to start fighting. Tommy came over here, grabbed him right now. I'm like, dude, you clearly see me looking at him. I was about to drop the camera. I was like, what the hell? Who is this? So you guys see we got all the Rugrats here. Spike, Susie. We're definitely going to ask on these. Hopefully we can get a good deal. And then the Doug, too. It is Disney's Doug, but man, that is still pretty cool to see for Quail Man. And he also got these Scooby-Doo figures, too. So, man, there's a lot of good stuff here. You got freaking the Shan Yu freaking Mulan figure, too. This is like all right in our era. How much are you guys asking for the Rugrats ones?
75 for all of them.
75 for all of them? And for the Doug? I'll do $10. $10. Okay, so we worked out a good deal. It's gonna be 75 for all the Rugrats, but he's throwing in the Doug as well too for free, which is cool because I was like debating on the Doug because it's the Disney Doug, not the Nickelodeon one. But hey, he's still in the Quail Man costume. You don't see Doug every day, so we're gonna add him in there. And then I'm also gonna ask about a few other items, but we are picking up all of this right here for sure. And then also we got some Rep Pack member over here passing these over. You're maybe gonna get them? Maybe. Okay, if she doesn't get them, then we're gonna grab these for sure. That is so cute. I've never seen the dog before. That's the one
that's
that.
Why I
yeah, those are so cute. Yeah, so let us know for sure. We'll definitely grab them. And we have a Rep Pack member in the community whose name is Always Looney, and I'm working out, a trade with him and stuff. So like, maybe I could pick up some Looney Tunes stuff for him if I see it. I don't know if he has these already, but if I can get a good deal on these, I might add these to my haul too. Oh man, these early Hanna-Barbera characters too, man. Like, how can I'm gonna end up spending way too much, I think, trying to get everything, but it's like you just don't see the tunes here. They're like dressed as the barbershop quartets. I think maybe, I would assume one's missing, maybe like a Taz or something, but very cool. And then we also got some Pokemon cards in here. It looks like, it's just like common cards, but you also got some of the old school Topps cards here too. That Jessie card right there from Team Rocket is dope. We'll ask on these, but sometimes Pokemon can be like, a little overly priced, so we'll see on that. But I'm gonna check out these. I don't even know, I might check out this too. You just don't see stuff like this often. So I might have to grab a lot more than I typically would. Like this little Astro Boy, like come on. I don't even know what he is. And he transforms into a car or something, but that's another grab. And you have the Mylars here. These were usually what they would put like on the actual like movie before you walked in. They would be backlit, so that way you could see them a little better. They got Space Jam here. The homie's over here picking these up, so shout out him. These are so cool. Some really cool nostalgic movies though. Tomorrow Never Die. So you're gonna be selling these guys?
Or some collection, some to sell.
Gotcha. So somebody's gonna be collecting, somebody's gonna be sell, but you guys got the plug right there. Go check them out. Yeah, shout out to the homie here. He's only hooked me up with all of the Rugrats stuff. I'm picking up that and a bunch of other stuff, man.
I was about to take it till I seen you.
Hey, man, I appreciate you, dude. That's what's up. We were left hanging. But it's okay. I don't think he saw it. I hope so. So the movie poster, this one is Wesley Snipes and Blade, the first one right here. I was wondering what these were. You never know, you might get like a Spongebob movie one, something crazy in there, the Rugrats movie. There's a lot of good Nickelodeon films that could have had something, but the Blade one is fire. This is a Shaq. Dude, 1993 Shaquille O'Neal giant freaking movie poster here, dude. I don't even know what team he's on here. Is it the Lakers, the Orlando Magic? I have no clue what that jersey's even from. But dude, that is insane. All right, man, if I had the space for this, with all the stuff that we're already collecting, I don't even know where I would put this thing. I already have so many banners and stuff I don't have space for. Oh, but am I gonna regret this years down the line? I am sure. That is so dope. What even is the background behind the Shaq? Like, is that just like his skin or like his head? Like, what is that like zoomed in the background there in the text? This is tough. The history of animation, you got all the old schools on here. I think the most modern thing on the cover, at least here, is the Simpsons. I do love that cover, but let's take a look here. Oh man, that seems like it'd be a good read for sure. I think I might actually pick this one up. Yeah, it comes all the way up to like Roger Rabbit, so like the early 90s is where it kind of like ends off. So it's probably when this book came out. But my goodness, what a little freaking gallery pop up here. I love when they have these little inserts. Actually, this is something from like an actual event this person went to. So they were an animation fan just like us, all the people on this channel. So you know what? Just to commemorate that person's pickup, we're gonna add it to our collection. See if we can get it for a good deal. So we have the Darkwing Duck piggy bank here. Oh, he's so sick, guarding the bank there. And also the old school Sonic bendable figures for Sonic Adventures. I'm gonna grab this too. We got Amy there and Eggman. That's another grab for sure. You just never know what you're gonna find. We found all this crazy cool stuff today. And then we found the most mysterious item of all, Hitch for the PS2. Or PSP actually. The UMD for Hitch. If that doesn't summarize a randomness, then I don't know what does. So there's like a whole set here of the turtles. You know, we only really collect the Mikey stuff, but it kind of would feel like a shame just picking up Mikey when they have the whole set here. So if we can get the whole set for a good deal, then we will. But if I couldn't bring myself to buy just the Mikey. I hope somebody who picks him up grabs all of them. But let's see how much we can get, you know, the whole set for. How much are you asking for the turtles? A 300. We got a lot of other stuff we're picking up, so I think 300 on these. A little rich from my blood on this with everything else we're getting, but they are still cool to see, so you guys can check them out. Okay, so we are gonna look around a few more places. I did pay, I mean, I don't know, I could like, honestly, I don't know if I paid up or if I didn't pay up for that stuff. I paid $250. I think it was a good deal either way. Do I think it was like a steal? Probably not, but that's at the end of the day, you know, it's good for both of us. I think that just those two Looney Tunes guys, he was charging like $140 for. It's not an inaccurate price. They're about like 100 to 120. So I was just thinking like, would I pay like if I just sold those guys, would I pay $130 for everything else I was getting? And yes. So I was like, okay, so if we just kind of add those guys into the deal, I sell those guys, I would pay with what I did for everything else, and I think that would be a really good deal. So it might take a little bit of work, but I mean, you just don't see stuff like that every day. And I don't have all of those Rugrats, so to be able to get a complete set of all those Rugrats figures is a dream come true, and I got them for 65 bucks. Like, that would never happen. Like, online, it would be the minimum like 150, 200 off the top of my head. So just to be able to add them to the collection for that deal was amazing. So we're gonna keep looking around. I'm sure there's some other awesome stuff out here, but I did spend a lot of time at that booth. Okay, so I figured I'd film this stuff for you guys because there might be some of you guys that are into this stuff. You got a bunch, I think, I want to say Power Rangers. Some crazy big figures here. I wasn't much of a Power Rangers kid, but I know there's a lot of people that are, so I just want to get a shot of them for you guys to let you know they did have them here. I just don't know enough to like try to pick any up. Shaq is all over the place. We found this giant banner today for the movie. Now we got the action figure. That's college Shaq though too. We got all the young Shaq stuff today.
Stop! Okay, so pause the video real quick because I actually filmed an awesome clip that is a part of today's haul but was not recorded on the same day. It was actually filmed the following weekend at the flea market, but I didn't have my camera on that day because I forgot my SD card, so I ended up just filming a little snippet of it with my phone where I got to meet up with the Pixel Game Squad at the very same flea market and got to pick up some really cool stuff, especially a really cool item for my homie Curtis. Big shout out to him. You'll see him in the clip. Got me one of my new favorite items, and I'm so grateful for him, not only for the awesome pickup, but also to have him as a friend. So here goes the clip so you guys can see, you know, all the stuff, as well as another awesome pickup we got from my man Riff too. So run the clip.
All right, so we're gonna meet Curtis up right now, as well as Ricky, Riff, everybody from Pixel Game Squad. But I came a little late, so I'm filming on my phone. Hey, there we go. You filming me filming you. Look at this.
You're gonna be filming us.
Got another guy with his phone out. All right, so where is it at, man? Dude, thank you so much.
Yeah, this is all you get.
That is so freaking sweet, man. I would likely say that it was, you know, obviously used in some kind of live action production. It could have been anything. Could have been like, you know, Brothers Garcia. Could have been freaking Drake and Josh for all we know. Who knows who could have sat in this chair at some point in time. Absolutely.
Drake and Josh.
I tried to get a backstory on it.
You can smell that old Josh in there.
Tried to get a backstory for you, and then the lady was like, well, you know, like, it just, we got it on Facebook Marketplace as well.
Heck yeah, dude.
Well, now I have something I could sell you that I bought.
Okay.
Sell it to you for like 30% of value of what it's worth.
But we're gonna
Okay.
do something better. You're not gonna pay a dime for this. This is for you.
Okay. Are you serious?
Yeah, it's for you, dude.
Dude, are you
Go
kidding
take it
me?
home.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, so we'll throw that in my car. I was gonna give you cash anyway.
No.
But okay, since you're not taking cash, I just want to
know,
get you at least get you lunch.
Let's go!
At least get you lunch, you know?
Oh, Chris likes Wendy's nuts. Sorry.
But, you know, you were gonna pay for this. You could maybe pay for that.
Okay. So
I
big
don't know
shout
if
to Curtis. Thank you so much, dude.
Yeah, bro.
I don't know if you've ever seen this before in your life because I didn't know it was a thing. So
Let's see here.
now you're probably thinking, why in the world are you showing me this?
You know that something connects here. I'm trying to recall. Nick at Night Get Smart shoe phone. That is sick.
So just so I literally didn't know I was at Dustin's booth and I picked this up and Gal was like, why are you looking at a shoe? And I did the typical scumbag thing, Google it, they sell for $100.
Okay, dude. So what are you asking for? I'll definitely get it.
150? No, I'm just kidding.
That's a good deal.
Just check, I don't want you to have to do anything on camera. You can check it out first.
All right, man. Let's see
Pretty
here.
cool though, huh?
Heck yeah, dude. That is wild. I've never actually seen this
Nick
before.
at Night Get Smart shoe phone. Yeah, I looked it up online and I was like, wow, this is like a legit real and this is how they came.
Yeah.
There's no like dock for it or anything.
Was that like a size like 8 maybe? A size
Please
6?
don't wear it.
That is so cool. Damn, they're chromed out. Future Buzz Lightyear here. I'm gonna have to ask on this one too. Does everything work on it? Let me test it out. It looks like there's like a space here in the back, so that might be where an attachment went at some point. So that looks like it's missing, but see how much we're asking for him still. How much for the Buzz?
Give me 20 for that.
20? Let's see if we can do 20, because I do really think this is a cool piece. But with the wings broken, let's see if we can at least do the 20 maybe. Yeah, so 4 parts, he's about 12, 15 too, so if he was working, I would grab him, but he is still cool. The little Remy right here, that's an instant grab. We got the little Dale here. If you want to know how to tell Chip and Dale apart, Dale's got the little red nose. Chip's got a chocolate chip nose. We're gonna grab these two for sure if they're a good price. How much are the plushie, man? $3? Gotcha. Yeah, for $3, we'll go ahead and grab him too. Shows you all the figures, but they also have a bunch of the different weapons too. Somebody is like punching the screen right now saying I should have grabbed this stuff. I just don't know Power Rangers that much, but I never see stuff from this era. So at least can show us, you guys can let me know what I should have grabbed. Okay, so we got done with a few sections you guys saw there. There was more stuff that I had to walk by, but the thing is that I'm completely spent out. Like I spent all of the cash that I had. So now I gotta walk all the way back to the ATM and grab more cash. But I mean, like when you see opportunities like that, you have to just pick it up when you can. You know, I could have asked him to hold it. I probably should have done that, but I haven't really picked up anything from that guy before. Like it was one of my first like big purchases from him. So I didn't really want to push it, and you never know how, like, you know, they're busy, how well they're going to be able to like watch the items. You could come back and a lot of it's missing. So I'm just glad that I grabbed everything that we did. We're going to grab some money at the ATM and then we're going to get back out there. All right, so we're getting back out here now. Honestly, like I hate having to go to the ATM all the time. Most of the people that you guys see on this channel, most of my friends that come here, they all just pay with Zelle. I wish I could do that, but the bank that I use, it's like a super old like family, like community, like local bank. So it doesn't have Zelle yet. They're working on it, and hopefully later this year they're gonna have it. Boy, does it suck. I've honestly debated like switching just so I could use Zelle more often, because it is annoying having to get cash all the time, and there's like a restriction on it, and it's super annoying. But we are all loaded up. We've got cash. Let's get back out here and see what we can find. So this is a DVD I've been wanting to add to the collection for a long time, and I was holding out for finding the Blu-ray, but Tommy just came by and he was telling me, because he sells like a lot of DVDs and stuff like that, that the Blu-ray for a Goofy movie goes for like $80. So I am just gonna get the regular one and say that's it, because I thought it was probably like a $5 movie. It is not so I'm gonna get this one to add to the collection, because that is the next movie I need on my list of Disney films. Okay, and then I'm also grabbing this stuff right here, the Family Guy Blue Harvest Complete Collection, as well as all of the Garfield Volumes 2, Volume 3, and also Volume 5, and the Brady Bunch first season, the lenticular cover, like, come on. How much you asking for the Peter Pan set, man? 10? Appreciate it, dude. All right, so add another booth here. I'm gonna be picking this up. There's a couple sweet items here. I love this Snoopy right here. World War I Ace, Flying Ace Snoopy with the pumpkins and stuff. I might ask about that one, but I'm gonna be grabbing this one for sure. It's a complete Peter Pan collectible set. It comes with TikTok the Croc, Tinkerbell, the whole crew in there. We're gonna grab this one for sure. Let's see about this one too. And how much are you asking for this guy? 10? Okay, I'll take it for sure. That's sweet. All right, so we paid 10 for the Peter Pan set. I don't know if the box set goes for that much, but I've sold just the Croc there for 15 before, so they might be better like out of the box, you know, just single figures for people that are looking for them for like cake toppers and stuff like that. But for $10, I think it's well worth it. I grabbed it. And this guy, honestly, I just thought it was cool, so I would bring that over to Whatnot, even if it's like not super valuable, just for a fun item for 10 bucks. Okay, we are still looking around. The last couple, like the last row or so has been kind of dead, but you know, that's just kind of how it goes. Sometimes you go and like there's a little bit at every single place, and then sometimes you go and there's just one booth that has everything that you need at once, and that was kind of what happened today. We still have a whole nother section of the market to check, so we might still find some stuff, but it is getting a little later. I was talking to Curtis earlier from Pixel Game Squad, and I was kind of saying like, you know, you wish you could be in multiple places if you could. Like if you could shadow clone Jutsu and go to every single booth, you know, but you can only pick like one or two that you can really stay at for that early morning time while everything's still available. I think we picked a good one today for us at least. So we're gonna go through a few more rows here. I'll keep you guys updated, of course, but if today that's all we find is the stuff at that booth and a couple other things, then that's still a win to me. So I found this guy. I don't know if this is the DVD that comes inside of like the big box set. I think this one is that's the Spongebob one, but this one I think is just a Nickelodeon trivia one. So I'm gonna grab it. It comes with like markers and a bunch of cool scorecards in there too. That is really cool. I feel like I don't have this one, so I'm gonna grab it just in case. Well, that's a return on investment if I've ever seen one. Probably get this for like $1 and you're freaking walking away with a lot more than that. That was really bad. I'm not even a dad, but I make dad jokes, so I don't know what's gonna happen when I actually am one day. Ooh, okay, so in the dollar bin here, we have Harriet the Spy. This is actually the small case though, you know, because of the unfortunate passing of the main actress in this one. This one's become a little bit more sought after, so I'm gonna grab one. I do have this in my collection. It feels like it's in good shape though. There's also some SpongeBob ones, but they're missing the cases. We have the SpongeBob Sponge Buddies, got the Rugrats, I Think I Like You. There's a lot of good ones, but they just don't have their boxes. Rugrats All Grown Up. It's like all Nickelodeon, to be honest. Blue's Clues. I'm still checking them out because you never know, it could be like something, you know, there's a couple really rare Nickelodeon tapes and even one or two SpongeBob ones, so it's worth checking them out just in case something like that's in there. Even just the tape would be good in those cases, but we're gonna grab this one for sure for $1. Oh my goodness, that is a lot of sponge. The camera, you can't see it because it's so bright, but there is a lot of different figures. These are from the meal toys, so it's like some of the Truth or Square. It looks like a little bit of the Lost in Time. There's just like a bunch of different eras here. I actually don't have this one, so I'm gonna ask about that one. Believe it or not, there are some that I'm missing. That's one of them. Okay, so you guys saw me pick up the Yo Gabba Gabba guitar. This is sold. This one's already been sold for $50, so got it for $2. I also got that Yo Gabba Gabba like radio too. A lot of the old Yo Gabba Gabba, like especially the instrumental type toys, can always do good, so I try to grab them when I see them. There's some really rare stuff. I mean, like you see this one right here is $300 for this Muto figure. I mean, stuff could get pretty up there. You just gotta have the right stuff. There's some stuff that's not worth like anything, but you know, the right stuff, if you will. There's the radio right there. This is the radio itself, so this one sold for $54. So that's the radio and the guitar, so about $100 between the two, and I think I got them both for $6. Oh my goodness, that is so cool. It goes behind the wall there. You press the button and it unleashes the clock. Ah, that's so sweet. With the old school Disney TV logo too. I'm literally so happy on this pickup, guys. This is like such a sick watch. It's still got the protector on there too. It's like in great shape as well. And then you just pop it open. Like, look at this. That is insane. That's such a cool watch design. So fun. And you could also adjust the time right there on it too. Like, that's like the most tuned watch I've ever seen. It's like something out of a Roger Rabbit like closet. And then these guys, even without the car, they go for like 20, 25. So, I mean, I couldn't refuse it. I mean, she gave me an offer I couldn't refuse. I had only $15 for both of them. I probably will keep one for the collection. Like I said, I'm very specific when it comes to Nick Jr. stuff, but if it's something I don't see often, because I see so much of it all the time, I will grab it just because, you know, I like picking up the rare stuff. With the Nick Jr. stuff, it could be like really easy to just get overwhelmed with a bunch of, you know, like I wouldn't say junk, but you know, the mass-produced stuff. So I try to find the rare items if I do pick them up. Okay, so I feel like it's been a while since you guys have seen me on this side. We've been using a lot of the GoPro footage. It's just because it's so crowded right now that when I use the GoPro, it's a little easier, it's a little less intrusive. But I did want to give you guys an update. You know, I pick up some weird stuff, but I think there's a little bit of logic to the madness of the stuff that I grab. And you guys get to always see at the end when we check out everything, the prices, and take a look. And I always have fun with it, you know. And I know there's people that always leave the comments letting me know like what stuff I miss, and I love learning more. And I'm sure I missed a lot of stuff today too. You know, I just look out for the stuff that is like my expertise, if you will, the stuff that I know well, and obscure kids shows and old candy happens to be some of my things. So I love sharing it with you guys. But yeah, if you guys see any stuff in this video today that I passed up, please let me know. And I'll try to keep a lookout for it the next time and kind of do a little research on it, because when you're doing this type of thing, the thing that makes you better and better is knowledge. Like, it is the most powerful resource when doing this, because the more stuff you know about, the better you're gonna have chances of finding more good stuff that you need. All right, caught up with Tommy. He's got his haul here. He also does a lot of DVDs and media too, so he's got a bunch of different stuff down here. You guys can see DVDs, some sealed stuff. Oh man, that's sick. Freaking VHS, hard and heavy rock VHS. How much is that going for?
20, 25?
Hey, that's not bad, you know, for VHS. Oh yeah, that's like instantly you can tell just the cover on that. That's a clean one, dude. And he's got this secret book here that we won't know, but it's a secret. All right, so we got to see Tommy's haul. I'll see you later, man. You're heading out of here?
Yeah.
All right, see you, dude. Have a good one. We're at the $1 one item, guys. I haven't seen anything on camera yet for you guys, but I'm telling you, one day he's gonna have a bunch of toys in these bins and we're gonna go crazy. It's just the last couple of times he's just had some lockers, you know, some storage units that haven't really had the stuff that we're looking for, but man, what a deal. So like I said, we didn't miss anything over there today, but I always check the $1 one item guy, because I just know one of these days I'm gonna film something and be able to just capture it with you guys. So I always wanna just add that clip in there in case it's one of those days. I'm telling you, I found some insane stuff in those boxes before. Oh, I actually really want this, but I've had such bad luck with these. I've bought like 2 of them and the freaking VHS player didn't work. So I'm like a little bit hesitant on it, but I really need a new VHS player. What do you guys think? I don't know. Let's see how much he's asking for it. If it's like 20 bucks, it might be worth the risk, but if it's pricey, then it'll be a no. How much you asking for the CRT?
40 bucks.
40 bucks? Gotcha, thank you. Would you care? Would you care if I buy it and try it out and then come back and then let me know? Okay, gotcha. Appreciate it. Thank you. That's sick. Yeah, I've had bad luck getting them, and the VHS doesn't work, but this one's actually working. Yeah, it's working good. So let's get the fast forward, rewinds on there.
How much is he asking for?
$40. It's not cheap, but they're getting really popular because like a lot of people use it for gaming now.
That's a great deal. I got mine at Google for like 30 around.
So we tried it out and it was working. The only little issues you guys can see, there's a little separation here, but it's not really a big thing like that. It's kind of common. I could easily get that back together with some epoxy glue. So we'll be doing that, and the VHS part works really good. You guys get to see, you know, that made me feel really happy with my pickup, with my purchase. You know, he helped fan the flame that was my TV ego. So now I really think I got a good deal. I'm a smart shopper. Look at that, Marcus, the smart shopper. He also said that any of the Panasonic like TV remotes for like the VHS era would work on it. So I'm gonna try to see if I can find one of those for a couple bucks too. So I did do one more look through the last rows, and as it gets like later in the day, it's like a little bit more and more dead. You know, there's not as much stuff to pick up. All the good stuff starting to dwindle down. On the way out of here right now, guys, we're gonna load everything in the car. I'll keep you guys updated. I literally almost dropped this thing twice. I'm just gonna put the camera down. We are going to get to the car, and then we'll be heading our way back to the cavern. All right, we got everything loaded up. We're gonna head out of here because somebody's waiting for our spot, but it's all in the bag.
Welcome home, Red Pack Marcus here. We are back in the cavern. Let's go ahead and check out our first contender, which is the price we paid. We are going to be trying to beat this thing down to the ground with the overall value you see on screen here, which is a mystery as of now because we gotta check these items out. So let's do it, baby.
Okay, so let's check out everything here. I got everything ready to go. I've got most of it cleaned up so we can get straight on into it. First off here, let's start off with the Rugrats, man. Like, we got a complete set of the minifigures. I think I might have a couple of these in the collection already. I have to feature in one of our Out of the Vault series videos. I think I have Phil and Lil and Tommy, maybe Chucky, but I wasn't gonna miss the opportunity to pick up the entire set in all one go. So our overall value paid was around $350, $375, a little more or less. I did have to pick up some DVDs as well too, but I separated that from this, how much I paid, and also overall value. I did very well on those two, but more just focusing on this stuff. The Rugrats, they all kind of go for different prices depending on the character. It is cheaper, however, to get them as a lot if you can find somebody selling off a lot of them. But for example, you can get Susie here, and Susie goes for around $25. So right there, already a good price. I got all of these from the asking price for like a little less than $10 each. She goes for about $25, but on the cheapest end, you have Tommy, who goes for about $8. I noticed that often with action figures, the characters that are like the main person, like the show's about, it's usually like some of the lesser valued figures because, you know, everybody had that one. Whereas like Susie, for example, or Dill, they go for about $20 to $25 because of the fact that they're, you know, less people have these in their collection. Susie being like a second tier main character, and Dill being a later addition to the show. Chucky goes for about $20 as well. Individually, Phil and Lil aren't worth that much because I feel like people want them as a duo, but as a duo, they sell for about $25. And Spike goes for about $10, and Angelica goes for about $20, but because this one's a little bit more rough, I went with $15. So we're already doing pretty dang well. I feel like we're already over $100 towards our total value, but these are essentially no value because these will be staying in the collection. Any of the characters that I don't already have in the collection, of course, we'll be archiving them. So only a few of these I will probably be selling, but I have to look into them first to see which ones I have and don't have. And next two items is another one that just comes down to niche, you know, like knowing some stuff that the average person isn't really looking for can help you get some value. I won't be keeping these in the collection just because Yo Gabba Gabba is Nickelodeon doesn't mean their products are. Their products are actually not Nickelodeon branded, so I don't have a lot of incentive for adding them to the collection, but it does help me get some added value back into our collection by being able to purchase other items with the proceeds from these items. And not all Yo Gabba Gabba stuff is good, but anything music related usually does pretty well. So for example, the guitar here goes for about $50. I paid $3 for the guitar, so $50, pretty good. And then the radio, if it came with all of the action figures that come with it, it would be about $100. But since it doesn't have the figures, it still goes for about $55. So between just these two items here, we got about $100 in value, which goes a long way in picking up an item or two or a few items to the collection with an easy $6. If we were doing our $20 challenge video series that we do at the thrift store, at the flea market, I would be doing pretty well by now. But the thrift store, it's a little tougher for sure. And you are going to be shocked by some of the values of some of the items today. I think that this day might actually be on par with one of our most high value days, and considering we got way less items. So for example, we have this Dr. Robotnik and Amy figure. You can see there's a bunch of other characters they made as well too, but bendable figures are extremely collectible. There's a lot of collectors out there that collect exclusively bendable figures. Even the Spongebob ones are pretty pricey for the same reason. But these Sonic ones, although this person paid $1.99 back in the day, the Sonic one has been recently sold for about $135. The Robotnik one is only listed for $100, only one listed for $100 with like 6 watchers on it. And Amy is nowhere to be found, which tells me she's probably pretty rare. I think that we could easily get about $100 each for both of these, but just in case we're a little high and we want them to get out the door quick, we're gonna go with $75 for each of these, bring it to $150 value for these 2 little blister figures. And it doesn't stop there. Next up, we have this little freaking Astro Boy. I just never see Astro Boy stuff, so I wanted to pick it up, but he is actually vintage piece from Japan. So you can pop his neck out like this, and he has this cool little feature where he has these little wheels in the bottom, and you can actually roll him so it looks kind of like he's flying. But this little mechanical Astro Boy has sold for up to $100 to $120, but we're gonna go with 80 just to be safe. Again, I like to have very generous numbers, so in case I go high on something else, you know that we're overall in the same ballpark by the end of it. So $80 for him. I don't know if I'm gonna sell him or not. He is really cool, but he's not from my era. I would love like the Cartoon Network Astro Boy, but he is really cool. Next up here, we have the Team Umizoomi figures here. These 2 cars. These were a little hard to clean up, but I did get them clean. If they had the remotes that go with them, I wish I would have just looked up the remotes at the time that I was there and looked around the booth more, because I'm sure with 2 of them, we would have found at least 1 remote. Because with the remote, they go for about $50 each, but without the remote, they still sell for a decent price, about $20 with like, $10 shipping, which I think is a little excessive. I think we could probably get 25 each for them, but we're gonna go ahead and go with the total value of $35 just to be safe. And I might keep one of these in the collection. I do like keeping very like cool, iconic items from Nick Jr. stuff, just because down the line I do have a dream of having a bigger space and I want to be able to make a little Nick Jr. setup. I don't have plans to collect every Nick Jr. item that ever existed, but really cool like kind of totem pieces like this from certain franchises I think will make for a really cool setup, so I like to pick them up when I can. I almost forgot about Doug here. Doug was a part of that set too of stuff that we picked up. He's worth about $35. Actually more expensive than any of the Rugrats, because unlike the Rugrats, who had years and years of several different dolls and toys that came out, Doug got a little period of time where he got a lot of products and then kind of was nothing after that, so it's a little bit more rare. Speaking of rare, we have this right here, the Marie Aristocats clock. This is an item I am very tempted to keep in the collection. I think it would look really cool on the wall in my living room by the Disney stuff, and she's so cute. And I've been really into watches and like lights and all types of like household electronics, so she's coming to me in my life at a weird era where I feel like I kind of need to keep this. But had she come in like maybe 6 months ago, I would have been like, oh yeah, for sure we're gonna sell this. But right now in particular, she just really hits my interest, so I might end up keeping this one. She's so cute and goes for about $65. Okay, and of course with every one of these videos, we got a couple no value items that are just for my collection. So the Nick Trivia Challenge, I don't believe that I have this in my collection. It goes for about $8, like, shipped. So I'm gonna go ahead and just say no value on this one, but I'm glad that I picked it up. Again, it's for our archive, so I'm gonna grab stuff like this every day out of the week. I'm gonna pick this up. So no value. Again, in case I go high on anything else, just consider that value added to that. But we also got the Pokemon Sword box here. As a Pokemon collector, a lot of times the boxes can go for more than what the actual games are. Sword and Shield is very new though, so that's not quite the case here, but I paid $1 for it. It goes for about $10, so easy W there. Okay, so speaking of value, again, we have Muggsy and Rocky. I actually had to write the names down on my list because I was not 100% sure what they're... I guess my Looney Tunes knowledge is a little bit limited. I was not familiar with these 2 characters, but they're like these 2 Prano-style like gangsters, but they go for a pretty penny because of the fact that they're, again, obscure characters. Getting figures for them or any kind of items to collect for them is very, very tough. These came from the Warner Brothers store, actually, and they go for $175 $25, the duo. I could not believe that price when I read it, but I'm gonna go with $135 for their overall value, just because I haven't tried to clean up the little markings he has on his hat here. And again, just to have a general quick price to sell, we're gonna go with $135, but an insane value on those two guys. The Darkwing Duck piggy bank here. Such a cool piece. I was able to find this one sold $25 out of the box, not even with the box. With the box, I would say you could probably get maybe like 40 to 50, but I'm gonna go with $25 since that was the one that I found. Okay, next up, the Scooby-Doo figurines here. So the Bendables, again, I told you Bendables, super collectible. There actually was a Fred that recently sold for over $100, but somebody recently posted a lot of them and they dropped the price down to like 30 bucks for some reason. So that's definitely a good deal if anybody's been looking out for them. So we're gonna go ahead and say 30 bucks for each of these for Shaggy and Daphne. Okay, and one of the items that surprised me the most was this watch right here. I got it for $5. One of my favorite things from today. This will be staying in my collection. It will be going in our Disney collection just because even the Toon Disney logo on the front is just gorgeous. But this watch only goes for about $20. I just think that it's like a really slept on item. I'm gonna make a YouTube short about it too very soon because I just think it's such an interesting piece. And like I said, I've been into watches, lights, and stuff like that recently, so it just came at me at the right time in my life where I was like, that is incredible. So $20 for this guy. We got it for $5. Okay, now for the other pretty pricey items we got here are these Looney Tunes figures. So these are all these barbershop quartet figures of the Looney Tunes. We have Sylvester, Daffy, and also we have Bugs. I am missing one set of the cane and also hat. So one of them is gonna have to be sold without the cane and hat. So I'm gonna go with Bugs because he kind of doesn't really fit the hat that very well because of his ears, you know. But so he goes for about 30, but the other two with their actual cane and hat, not even being sealed like this, just being loose, sell for $50. So $50 for both of these two here and a 30 for this, to $130 between 3 Looney Tunes. We absolutely killed it at that booth. Okay, another item I pick up all the time, and I've found so many different ponies that are like worth a really good value, and they're not even the vintage like My Little Ponies. They're Friendship is Magic My Little Ponies. I would say that like 90% of them are worthless, but there's like a 10% that were released at a specific store or a specific convention, and you can only find them at those places, so they end up being pretty valuable. But even with 90% of them being pretty valueless, almost every time that I find My Little Ponies, there's like a bunch of them. Like there's never just like, oh, one My Little Pony. Usually that person had a collection of like 30 or 40 of them. So if you're looking for 90%, you might be able to find 1 or 2 that are really solid. And in this case, I found this one right here. This is for a character named Derpy Hooves. She was actually a canceled character because of the fact that she was made to be kind of like, you know, a little bit off mentally, but she goes for $135. This is maybe the second time. I've also found another one of her that was from like a convention exclusive one that I sold for about $100. I've gotten a few nice Twilight Sparkles. Rainbow Dash is a couple really good ones. There's a lot of characters that are solid, but that one goes for about $135. I paid $5 on that one, $5 for that one. But $5 to $135, again, if we were doing the $50 challenge Road to a Dream Grail at the flea market, I would be killing it, all right? Man, my thrift store has been really dry recently. Harriet the Spy with the slipcover only goes for about 10 bucks, but I got it out of the dollar bin too, so I don't know. I just thought it was a cool pickup for $1. We might bring this over to my Whatnot strings. I do think I already have this, but $1, not bad at all. These little keychain plushies, we got Dell here. He goes for about $10. We got Zero, also about 10 bucks. A little more, a little less, depending on the situation. I'm just going with 10 as an easy number. We got Remy here. He's actually supposed to be a shoulder magnet, so without the magnet he goes for about 15, but let's just do 10 too. The Pokemon card binder. This one doesn't have any cards that are like particularly rare. There are a couple like of the top hollows that are in here, but I've had a lot of good luck on these binders, just selling them as is, just listing them just like this, dirty binder and all. I think it kind of feeds into people's like nostalgia for it. And there might be a card in here, like I'm not really very versed when it comes to the Topps cards, cards. I'm a lot more knowledgeable in the regular card game, and none of those cards are really worth all that much. But I'm gonna put this up on auction and probably at least get, you know, a couple bucks for it. We've made more than enough off of all the other items, so we're gonna be chilling. But I'm gonna go and give this no value because of the fact that, again, in case somehow we went high on something, which I think we were low on everything, this adds to it. So we're going no value for the Pokemon binder. Next up here we have the Toothless figure. There was a point where I was picking up like just about every Toothless figure I would find because they were almost all expensive, but I feel like they've gone down in price quite a bit for whatever reason. He goes for about $8. You know, I paid $5 for him. Not much I'm gonna make on that one, but $8. This guy right here, valueless. I needed him to complete my Atlantis Scorpantis set, so I picked him up. Another item I'm gonna get 0 value just because of the fact that I could not find them. The only one I was able to find was this Kermit one that sold like 2 years ago for $15, but these don't go on straws. They actually went on antennas back in the day, like your car antenna. So you could have, you know, Hermit kind of skating across the sky. We have the Animal and also the Homer Simpsons. These, I'm just gonna give them a value of $0. Again, I just like doing that, so we have a really solid number by the end of it. The Nightmare Before Christmas figures, they go for about $30 in box. Actually 50, but this box is really beat up, so we're doing 30. The Peanuts one, man, this thing is so slept on. This is such a cool freaking figure, like unbelievable, but he only goes for about 30 bucks. I think that he's, I don't know, I think it deserves better than that. He is absolutely awesome, and the whole like Christmas or the whole Halloween motif is just perfect in the box there. Okay, so now for the big items to add to the collection. Big shout out to my homies over at Pixel Game Squad who actually helped me out on both of these items. One of them is the Nickelodeon Studio chair. I'm going to put 0 value on it just because of the fact that I will never leave my collection. This is something I will cherish always, especially because it came from an awesome friend like Curtis. And it also makes for a really cool piece to have like our special guest plushie in the background here. So 0 value on that one, but I wanted to say thank you so much to him. He actually gave it to me free of charge. I was not expecting that at all. I mean, I was grateful that he was giving me the price that he paid for it, but literally just a gift. So thank you so much. Big shout out to Curtis. Go check out Pixel Game Squad, also their podcast as well. Curtis runs the podcast. He does some fantastic work, so make sure you guys go check that out. And then Riff actually found this right here. You guys may see from the video how it looked versus how it looks now. I cleaned this shoe up like crazy. I fixed the sole in the shoe too, so the little tag wasn't falling out. I cleaned the phone off here. It is in great shape now. This isn't for a Nickelodeon show, but it is tied to Nick at Night. This is for the TV show Get Smart. It's a classic TV show, I believe about a spy, like a comedic spy type of show. We'll play a clip of him using his shoe phone.
This is Smart. Maxwell Smart, Agent 86.
So Nick at Night made this product as like just a reference to his phone and kind of to like promote the Get Smart being on Nick at Night, but it makes it pretty collectible and goes for about $130. We'll add $130 onto our value, but this is another item that'll be staying in my collection because of the Nick at Night feature in the inside of the shoe here. It does make it a Nickelodeon item, although the show Get Smart is not owned by Paramount or Nickelodeon. Nick at Night definitely is, so this promotional item is quite a little grail here. So a big shout out to Riff for thinking of me when he picked it up. I paid him about 40 bucks for the shoe. He could have easily went online and sold it for 100 and made the quick money, but he didn't because he knew that I would likely want it to add it to the collection. So thank you so much to him. Those dudes are absolutely awesome. And again, if you guys haven't checked them out, go check them out. I get featured in a couple different videos, so you might spot me in the background here and there, and they make fantastic content. And if you love video games, it's a major focus of theirs, so I definitely recommend it. And on that note, that is actually everything. So including everything all together, again, we paid $355 to maybe $400 at the most, but our overall value, once everything is sold and done, I added up, and it's probably not accurate, you'll see the final total on screen here, is $1,135. We almost tripled the value that we paid for everything. Obviously that's not including like the fees that eBay or any of those selling platforms will take out, so I would say that we doubled with a little extra our overall spent value. But most importantly, more than all of that, we had an amazing time. So thank you guys so much for joining me on this flea market hunt. You may notice I'm a little tired right now. I'm trying to keep my my normal energy up, but I'm actually really sleepy. I haven't had a lot of sleep the last couple nights, just getting stuff ready and working on stuff for you guys, as well as like getting up to these flea market videos, keep getting this stuff clean, you know, getting the prices. Like, these videos definitely take a lot of work to do in conjunction with everything we already do, doing every other day uploads, doing our shorts, doing everything that we do. But they're so much fun, and you guys make it worth it. So if you guys enjoy this series, please hit the like button. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you guys want to support the show further, again, go check out my Whatnot stream down below. The Patreon, you can sign up right now for $2 a month. Stay tuned here. I gotta add a couple items to the collection. You've already seen a couple that have been added, but before that, you know the drill. Stand it! Alright, so I also forgot about this Peter Pan set here. The only one listed, there's a few of them, they're all like above $100 or a little bit over 80. I'm gonna go ahead and just say $30 to $40 for this one as a bonus item. I paid 10. Okay, so all those Rugrats figures you saw, I think I'm going to be trying to rearrange this section over here to fit them in. As I always say on the show, vintage always takes precedent over modern, and this is a modern Monopoly Rugrats game. Although I do love it, I think a couple of those character figures would look way better back here, but it is going to take a considerable amount of time to get all of this adjusted and get it fixed up. So I will spare you of that in this video, and I will set that up off camera, but expect eventually some changes back here with a few new Rugrats products. Okay, so like I said, as soon as I saw this, I knew this was something I could not let go of. I love checking out all the things nostalgic, whether I keep them in the collection or I don't. This was something I had to keep this thing, and it is the Toons Disney watch. So this is going here on my Disney shelf. Like I said, I've been really having a thing for clocks recently, and like other housewares like lights. So I'm super happy to add that in here. Okay, and you guys saw I got this new CRT TV at the flea market. I added this into my bedroom right here by all of mine shadow stuff, and I am in love with it. And this item was actually $150 online. I only paid the $40, so I guess you could add $150 of value to our list as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, go check out this video right here. That is the first episode of this flea market series. I highly recommend it. That was one of our biggest hauls ever. It was insane. And if you enjoyed this one, I know you're gonna like that one, and it'll put you on a playlist of all of these flea market videos. Right now we're at like the 3rd or 4th part, so go take a look at that, and that'll put you on that playlist. I'll see you over there, and as always, Rep Pack, I'll see you beautiful people in the next one. Adios and bloop.